From Farmers Branch City Hall, hello everyone and welcome to Council Countdown, where if you give us 10 minutes, we'll bring you a rundown of everything you need to know for the next City Council meeting agenda. I'm Tom Bryson at Farmers Branch City Hall with this Council Countdown for the upcoming City Council meeting of May 5th, 2015. For this meeting, we've got sweepers and mowers, site plans and security systems, plus naming a judge and renaming a street. All that and more is coming up next, so don't go too far. You're watching Council Countdown on FBTV, so stick around.
As you can see, the amount of vehicle traffic on Farmers Branch roadways is increasing. Every business day, almost 500,000 cars and trucks operate on freeways and tollways that border our city. And that's not including the amount of vehicles that travel and actually hit our streets. With that amount of traffic, here are a few numbers that may get your attention. If you text while driving, you're 23% more likely to be involved in an accident. If you use a cell phone behind the wheel, you reduce the amount of brain activity associated with driving by 37%. Of the 300 million cell phone users in the United States, an estimated 100,000 text while driving regularly. In Farmers Branch, we want you to remain safe and alive, so put it down. It can wait. And now, it's a law. City Ordinance 3274 prohibits the use of a handheld communication device while you're driving. That means no writing, sending, or reading text or email behind the wheel. So remember, put it down, be safe, and remember, it's not just common sense, it's the law.
This is Council Countdown for the Farmers Branch City Council meeting of Tuesday, May 5th, 2015. I'm Tom Bryson. Thanks very much for staying with us. First up, after ceremonial items and a report on study session, members of the council will consider items placed on the consent portion of the agenda. Consent items are items to be considered with action taken that may not need individual explanation or discussion during the meeting. There are 6 items on the May 5th consent agenda. Agenda item G1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the City Council meeting of April 21st, 2015. Item G2 is to consider a request for final plat approval of Multimedia Edition Lots 1 and 2, Block A, at the southeast corner of Diplomat and Hutton Drives. JMJJ Properties, LLC, is the owner of a 4-acre tract of land at the southeast corner of Diplomat and Hutton. The property was platted in 1990 as Lot 1, Block 5, Valwood Park, Farmers Branch, Phase 2. The owner desires to replat the property as Multimedia Edition Lots 1 and 2, Block A, addressed as 2020 and 2030 Diplomat Drive, respectively. This replat is required prior to the owner's development of Lot 2 and the selling of Lot 1. The proposed final plat of Multimedia Edition Lots 1 and 2, Block A was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission on March 9th. The proposed plat is consistent with the Texas Local Government Code and the city's platting requirements, and is also consistent with the city's guiding principles to provide strong, thriving commercial and residential neighborhoods through planning, land use, development, code enforcement, revitalization activities, and programs. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommends final plat approval. Item G3 is to consider adopting ordinance number 3322, renaming a portion of Mercer Parkway as Morgan Parkway. A portion of Mercer Parkway street right-of-way extends approximately 2,350 feet between the west right-of-way line of Interstate 35E and the east side of the City of Dallas rail right-of-way, formerly known as the Chicago-Rock Island Pacific Railroad. Now, this portion of Mercer Parkway was dedicated by a previous plat, West Side Edition Section 2, and does not connect with Mercer Parkway west of the railroad tracks. In 2014, road improvements on Mercer Parkway between 35E and the Dallas Rail right-of-way were constructed for a distance of approximately 1,803 feet, with a cul-de-sac turnaround at the western end of the road. The remaining 548 feet of street right-of-way extending westward beyond the cul-de-sac will serve as a utility corridor. Mercer Parkway street rights-of-way do not extend across the Dallas Rail right-of-way, and there will be no connection between Mercer Parkway east and west of the railroad tracks. This physical separation of the two portions of Mercer Parkway is considered to be a potential source of confusion for both the general public and emergency services response. The proposed change of street name to Morgan Parkway will eliminate confusion related to addresses and the physical access to the streets. City Administration recommends approval of ordinance number 3322. Agenda item G4 is to consider approving resolution number 2015-043 relating to the appointment of an alternate municipal court judge for the City of Farmers Branch. The City Council adopted Ordinance number 3296 on August 19, 2014, appointing 2 alternate municipal court judges. Since then, Judge Scott submitted a letter of resignation from his appointment, which became effective January 1st of this year. Resumes were gathered and reviewed by the presiding and alternate municipal court judges, who have made a recommendation for City Council to appoint Shannon Willis, who meets both the city charter and state law requirements necessary for appointment. City Administration recommends adoption of Resolution number 2015-043 formalizing these recommendations. Agenda item G5 is to consider approving Resolution number 2015-044, authorizing the purchase of 2 replacement mowers for the Parks and Recreation Department from Professional Turf Products through the Buy Board Purchasing Cooperative. The current fiscal year fixed asset fund for vehicle and equipment replacement includes 2 replacement mowers for the Parks and Rec Department. The mowers are being replaced because they meet recommended replacement criteria based on life cycle costs, age, and utilization, and supports the infrastructure and assets guiding principle. The city requested a quote from the Buy Board Purchasing Cooperative and evaluated the quote to be sure it met specifications. As such, the city wishes to award the purchase to Professional Turf Products. The budgeted amount for the replacement mowers is $90,600. The quote came in at $88,215 and included an $8,000 trade-in for the city's 2007 John Deere 1600A mower. City Administration recommends approval of Resolution number 2015-044. And agenda item G6 is to consider approving Resolution number 2015-046, authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute an agreement with Knight Security Systems, LLC, for updating and relocating the current jail control and security system for the Farmers Branch Justice Center, utilizing the State of Texas Department of Information Resources pricing. The Farmers Branch Justice Center operates a detention facility that utilizes a system of electronic locking devices, cameras, and intercoms in order to maintain the physical security of the jail. This current system was installed when the Justice Center was completed in the year 2000. Now, the design utilizes a manual control system, a part of which is located in the current dispatch center, since that current dispatch center is staffed 24 hours a day. However, with the impending move of dispatch personnel to the North Texas Emergency Communications Center, this system must be relocated to a secure place in the jail so that it may be monitored around the clock by existing detention facility personnel. The current manual control system is outdated and would be replaced during the relocation process with an updated software-driven command system and associated equipment. The proposed total cost to relocate and update the system as quoted under the State of Texas Department of Information Resources contract by Knight Security Systems is $140,511. Funds are available in the fiscal year 2014-2015 budget for this project. City Administration recommends approval of Resolution number 2015-046. And that was it for the consent agenda. Here's a quick rundown of the other items before the council at the upcoming meeting. Agenda item I-1 is to receive a report on the 2015 mosquito program. Item I-2 is to consider approving Resolution number 2015-045, authorizing the purchase of 1 replacement street sweeper for the Public Works Department from the Kinlock Equipment and Supply through the Houston-Galveston Area Cooperative. The council may also recess into closed session, but will then reconvene into regular session to take any necessary action. And that will do it for the May 5th agenda. Every regular meeting of the Farmers Branch City Council can be seen live on FBTV, that is Time Warner Cable Channel 16 in Farmers Branch, AT&T U-verse throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex on Channel 99, or online at www.farmersbranchtx.gov. This City Council information program will be made available simultaneous to the agenda posting on the Friday before each regular City Council meeting, and will air prior to live meeting as well as before our council meeting replays here on FBTV. That replay schedule is at 6 p.m., 7 days a week until the publication of the next council meeting agenda. The May 5th, 2015 meeting of the Farmers Branch City Council starts at 6 p.m. Tuesday evening here at Farmers Branch City Hall. We hope to see you here. Until then, for everyone here in the studio, I'm Tom Bryson. You're watching Council Countdown on FBTV. We'll see you next time.